you know, it's better than the opposite. It's better than these ahistorical, America-hating hysterics that we're raising, especially at colleges.
Yeah, it's really scary,
They think Hamas are the liberators.
It's scary, man.
I mean, you know, again, when they come after me for like changing, like, I haven't changed, you assholes. You're rooting for terrorists now.
The lack of realization from the left that their ideologies that they've been pushing for years upon years is why people like Zachary Levi, Bill Maher, Joe Rogan have all deterred from that belief system. They were on board with you. They were riding, rocking for you all this time, and your insanity, what you've been pushing, the out of touch from the people of America has just landed you in the position that you're in, and they still don't get it. You have Bill Maher who said, I didn't leave you, you left me. Time and time again, Piers Morgan just out here saying like, guys, we're doing a little too much, and they do not get it. So in this video, we're gonna see Bill Maher calling out the insanity of the left, what they've been doing, and why he can't stand their current place in society, their current place in politics, why they're just so out of touch. And he brought up Zachary Levi, another guy who's risked his career by speaking out on behalf of RFK Jr., Tulsi Gabbard, and Trump, saying that this is the way we need to go, guys, or we're not gonna have a country anymore. But before we get into that video, make sure that you subscribe to RTN News, because it ensures to YouTube that you're enjoying our videos, and in turn will continually show up in your feed and then push it out to more people. I'm Titus, let's get into this video.
I love America.
Me too, man.
Yeah.
Me too.
That's another issue I have with the left is like, and I chide them about it all the time, like, you know what would help you maybe win elections? Try to look like you like the country you're running in.
Yeah.
I mean, Trump, of course, has to go too far and fuck the flag. But
I don't even know what that means. He just has to throw those unnecessary digs at Trump that don't even make sense. What are you talking about? Homie loves the flag. He'd be out here kissing it. He's on a pole and he's just holding it and going, mwah, kissing that thing. He loves it. He loves our country. I mean, you don't have to like Trump again. Like, I like Trump, yeah. But you don't have to like Trump. I'm not even like trying to say you have to. That's a must. If you don't, like, I'm not trying to make everyone join a cult like the left is. Like, I'm not trying to make you know, if you're with us or you're against us. You're allowed to disagree. You're allowed to not like the guy. But that does not even make sense. Trump wants to F the flag. Where are we getting this? What does that even mean?
You know, it's better than the opposite. It's better than these ahistorical, America-hating hysterics that we're raising, especially at colleges.
Yeah, it's really scary,
They
man.
think Hamas are the liberators.
It's scary, man.
I mean, you know, again, when they come after me for like changing, like, I haven't changed, you assholes. You're rooting for terrorists now. Okay. That's all I wouldn't even have to go, and I could go on for hours on that subject, but I wouldn't have to say anything more than that. You are rooting for terrorists, not all of them, but they're certainly not denouncing the people enough who are rooting for the terrorists.
No, they're not. And again, this is not in any way to excuse their behavior, because
That being said, that's so true. Because even like with the George Floyd riots in 2020, it's justified because of the action that was done, that they think they have every right to overreact in the streets, burning businesses, looting, rioting, all this stuff is totally justified because of the fact that he couldn't breathe and that there was a knee on his neck. And regardless of your opinion on that instance, the George Floyd incident, that you can have your opinion on that. The reaction to that action was insane, not justified, totally wrong. Within the same year of January 6th, they try and compare. They don't allow that comparison. They had multiple riots where they did way more damage than anything that ever happened on January 6th. But that's okay, because that was on the American people. The Capitol, you were coming against our leaders, our authoritarians. It's like the math ain't mathin'. Doesn't make any sense how it's justified because of George Floyd. But then the January 6th was people feeling like they were the election was stolen. People were feeling as if they had a wrong done to them, and they're like now threats to democracy and all these things, and they're all still in prison. Meanwhile, people that like literally stole, destroyed, looted, rioted, burned, they're all roaming free because it was justified. It's like they're so insane, and they accept that behavior and acknowledge that, and they don't denounce that behavior. I think Tim Walz encouraged it, I believe, in his state. And it's just like, no, that's the problem. You guys are unwilling to denounce bad behavior because they're on your side. And that's not okay. You need to be able to tell people when they're wrong. And they're incapable and refuse to do so.
Everyone is still responsible for their behavior, even if it's a behavior that came out of, let's say, being lied to. I just want us to never forget, it's important, I think imperative to always remember, it's easy for us to get angry with the foot soldiers that are out there doing all this crazy, stupid shit. Like these college kids on campuses that are like literally like terrorizing Jewish students on campuses. It's literally. Like, if you want to go protest, like do a proper protest and understand that is you doing what you're doing and not going and harassing other people because of where they're going, right? Like that's part of free speech. Like I can't say you can't go and do your protest, but that should never be infringing on the rights of anybody else. But again, these are the foot soldiers that have been programmed by this nonsense from above that is telling them through our institutions and universities, like, there's been an incredible, I mean, I'm sure you've seen these graphs. Like, in fact, I think I might have even seen you put it up on your show once, but there's all these graphs of like positions of like, of different fields of expertise and roles and jobs and stuff like that. And specifically departments in a university. And the amount of professors that are liberal leaning, some of them are like 100%. There's not even a conservative leaning professor in that entire department.
And that's insane. And that's why literally Charlie Kirk, all these people say they're indoctrination camps, because you cannot tell me, and I've heard someone say that statistically it's not accurate, like they don't go to college and become liberal because of the indoctrination of professors and all that stuff. But I remember my sister went to a college when she, years ago, when she went to college, she's like, oh my gosh, this is a lot. Like they're anti-God, all this stuff. It's like, you don't think that shapes or reforms what someone may have thought before, when you're continually telling them that you're evil, or what you believe is wrong, what you believe is hateful, what you believe isn't accepting, it's intolerant, it's spiteful, it's whatever. You don't think that's going to form a young, malleable mind who just wants to fit in and be and wants to do the right thing? When you're telling them what they're doing, what they believe is wrong, whatever they were raised to believe to be true is like you're the spawn of Satan for having those values. Yes, and the fact that it's predominantly liberal is terrifying. You should have an equal representation in terms of diversity of thought. I don't care about the skin color thing. Like, you apply for college if you're smart enough, you're good enough. It should be a based off merit. You shouldn't even have to put your race on the application for work or college or any of that stuff. It shouldn't matter. And that's weird that it's there. That's how you would really know if someone's qualified and chosen because of their qualifications and whatever their history is. If there was no race on applications, I feel like that would eliminate a lot of this nonsense, this unnecessary stuff. Well, I don't know why it needs to be there. What's the relevance? But yeah, there should be equal representation. There should be diversity of thought in terms of for educational purposes, for the molding of young minds. It does not make any sense whatsoever that almost every single university in our country is predominantly liberal. The math ain't math on that one either. Why is that the case? We need equal representation in terms of differing opinions and viewpoints by people that are clearly capable. We have people that are capable. We have the Jordan Petersons, the Ben Shapiros, the Candace Owens, the people that are very intelligent, regardless of whether you agree with everything they say or not, or every point that they derive, but they all have facts to back up what they say, just like they have some sort of, or evidence to back up what they say. And both sides have them. Both sides, I've seen very good debates, good faith debates, where people present points, and a lot of times opinion sways a little bit of your belief system, or a lot, but it's good faith, it's productive. There's people seeing eye to eye on certain things, and it's just fruitful for society to have these types of conversations. I had a conversation with some friends about theology the other day. Last night, I just had a long conversation. We were debating things that we disagreed on, and we're both Christians. But like, you should be allowed to have that diversity of thought, the molding of the minds from each side, every point of view, and it should not be all one-sided, where people are forcing their thoughts down your throat and telling you that you're wrong and evil for having those opposing thoughts. That's insane that we're not equally represented through our political philosophy, our Christian ideologies, our beliefs, or whatever it may be. It's not okay. And I mean, I think that's why, Charlie Kirk has a book, College is a Scam. That's why a lot of people don't even really want to go to college these days, because it's like, okay, it's not learning, it's indoctrinating. You must believe this way, and if you don't, you're the problem. So it's ridiculous.
I've talked about this, yes, you're right, before, not just in universities, NPR, somebody prominent left last year, and 87 of 87 positions, the top echelon positions at NPR, were liberal, Democrat, vote Democratic. Twitter, before Elon took over and completely reversed it, was that way. Even if you're a liberal and a Democrat, you shouldn't think this is good.
You shouldn't think it's good. And the thing is, even with Twitter, that's not true, man. Just because Elon Musk wants free speech, it's really concerning that you want free speech. You want both sides to be represented, and because both sides are equally represented and no one gets censored or canceled for their beliefs, the fact that it turns right and people may be shifting to the right shows that maybe that's the more logical side right now. Maybe that's a side that is actually reasonable and can provide valid points. And when you don't shut them down, people start to maybe turn that way a little bit. Like it's not, and there's so many people that are on Twitter that are killing it and that are going viral for their leftist insane takes that like I completely oppose. You got the soy boys, the Backstreet Soys I call them, Harry, Parker, Dean, Chris I think is his name, like all these guys, and like they're obviously like articulate and I'm assuming intelligent individuals. Like, you know, they have a narrative they're trying to push that is opposing that I oppose, but like they have tons of engagement. They do very well. You have this girl named Joe or something. She has great engagement, insane, crazy, but like she does well. And so it's equally represented on Twitter. You're allowed to say you want, and people are allowed to respond. They're allowed to have back and forth. It's not just all one-sided, which is not something that you should want. It hasn't become super right. It's become, and if it has become more right, it's because of us being allowed to actually present points that make people change their mind. Because it's, oh, that makes more sense. It's not just an emotional argument. It's not trying to tug at the heartstrings. It's just what it is. Facts are facts. Facts don't care about your feelings. It is what it is. But yeah, I really think we need, the pendulum is swinging. Things have changed, and we really need to acknowledge reality. We really need to be able to have a civil discourse amongst each other. That's the only way we can move forward and be unified as a country and as a people. You should be allowed to have that discourse, and no one should be canceling anyone for any beliefs unless they are like actually extreme. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure that you subscribed to RTM News. Make sure that you are commenting your thoughts below. I really want to know what you guys think, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.